What is up, Steelers Nation? Thank you so much for tuning into this breaking news edition of All Steelers Talk. I'm your host for this one, producer Nick Belsky, and the Steelers, well, they provided some very good news earlier today before practice as three players returned to the practice field on the south side. According to the Steelers official website, wide receiver Roman Wilson, inside linebacker Cole Holcomb, and rookie defensive lineman Logan Lee all returned to practice earlier today, which means the team now has 21 days to elect to either activate any of these players to the 53-man roster, or they will remain out for the remainder of the 2024 season. Logan Lee is a guy that you're probably not looking at as an impact player on the defensive side of the football. As a rookie who has missed most of the season, he's probably not going to come in and get into that rotation with guys like Keanu Benton and guys like Dean Lowry and guys like Montravius Adams. You would expect that he's more of a special teams addition at this stage of the season, but nonetheless, an addition that the Steelers would like to make, especially because when he's missed so much time, especially in his rookie year, you want to get him as many live NFL game reps as humanly possible going into that sophomore season. So we'll keep an eye on Logan Lee as a potential special teams addition. As far as Cole Holcomb, this one's going to be interesting because the last time Cole Holcomb played was November 2nd of 2023, where he suffered a gruesome knee injury that had many questioning whether or not he would come back and play for the Steelers at all. He has spent all season up to this point on the PUP list, but now has a chance to join what is already a pretty stacked inside linebacker room that includes Patrick Queen as the mainstay, Landon Roberts and Peyton Wilson as that number 2 rotation, one for the run stops in Landon Roberts and one for the pass protections in Peyton Wilson. So you wonder, how many reps would Cole Holcomb even get on defense if he does, in fact, return to play? Probably not a lot, but at the same time, it's nice to have a guy like Holcomb available to you in the playoffs. A guy that, if you go back a year ago, he was seen as the future of this position for the Steelers. His uncertainty led to them bringing in Patrick Queen and kind of bumping Holcomb out of that spot. What is he able to do in the remainder of this year to potentially earn an opportunity next season? That's what remains to be seen. That's the biggest question for Cole Holcomb, but a guy that doesn't play a lot of special teams and hasn't played a lot of special teams over the last couple of seasons. So maybe that is another addition similar to Logan Lee that the Steelers are looking at, is Cole Holcomb getting in, being a special teams ace, and kind of morphing into a new role in a new stage of his career. And then the third and final name on this list is one that many people on the flagship show of All Steelers Talk and really all over the Steelers fan base have been asking about all season long. And that's Roman Wilson. Roman Wilson has been out since week 6 of this season, dealing with a hamstring injury that landed him on the IR just before the Steelers bye week in week 9. He had only played 5 plays against the Raiders in that week 6 game, which apparently resulted in the hamstring injury. And before that, he had missed the remainder of that season with an ankle injury. So 2 separate major injuries that have kept Roman Wilson off the field in his rookie year, which leads to the question, can he make an impact this year, even if he comes back? I think a lot of people, myself included, weren't expecting him to come back once we reached this stage of the season, but the fact that he's practicing means they're leaving the light on for something. As Mike Tomlin has said all year, specifically with Roman Wilson, for younger players, it's hard to jump on that moving train. I know the Steelers have lost 3 games in a row, which might have slowed the train down a bit, but it's week 18. The road is as narrow as it's going to get in the regular season, especially for a rookie in Roman Wilson. But can he make an impact? When you look at the Steelers' offense, they're in need of a playmaker on the wide receiver side of things. They're in need of somebody to be that consistent number 2 behind George Pickens. Calvin Austin has had flashes. Scotty Miller has had a couple of big plays. Ben Skoranek has had a couple of big plays. Mike Williams has had a couple of big plays. Shoot, even Van Jefferson has multiple touchdowns, but nobody has stepped up in a consistent manner to being that number 2. That's what they wanted Roman Wilson to be when they drafted him back in April. May, whatever it was. That's what they wanted him to be. Now, is he going to have the time to ramp up and get in there and be trusted this late in the season? That much I have a hard time believing. But Roman Wilson, if he's healthy, he's a pretty good run blocker. He comes from a school in Michigan that loved to run the football. So you know he's a good run blocker, and you know that he wants to block in the running game. And then you look at what he was able to do in the receiving game last year for, again, a run-first outfit in the Michigan Wolverines. He still had 789 receiving yards and 12 touchdowns in 15 games. I understand that he's a rookie. I understand that he hasn't had a single target at the NFL level, but adding somebody that has that potential, if he's ready to go, is only going to be a positive thing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The main question, and I already said it, are they going to trust him this late into the season? Are they going to trust a rookie at this stage of the season? It's the questions with Mike Williams, right? They brought him in at the trade deadline. They still haven't really gone to him in a manner that makes you believe, oh, he's going to make an impact in the postseason. Are they going to do that with Roman Wilson? I would say it's unlikely. But again, when you've lost 3 in a row and you're looking for as many answers as the Steelers offense is looking for, maybe this is the perfect time for Roman Wilson to be getting healthy and to be getting an opportunity in the Steelers offense. But nonetheless, still good news on all fronts here for the Pittsburgh Steelers at practice on the South Side. Roman Wilson, Cole Holcomb, and Logan Lee all returning to practice. We'll see what they're able to do going forward. We'll see if they're able to get close to or, in fact, return to play in Week 18 or potentially in the postseason. But that's going to do it for this breaking news episode of All Steelers Talk. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this one. We'll see you next time.